So I used to be a huge Black Clover fan, and this is exactly why I'm making this video, because I liked the series beforehand. And you could say it's biased about, oh yeah, you're probably just making the series because you don't like the way the story's going, and you're just gonna say it fell off. No, I mean, like, it fucking fell off. And I'm gonna explain exactly why Black Clover fell off in today's video. So if you guys like this type of video, please hit that like and subscribe button. We're almost at 750 subs. The support of my videos lately have been insane. And yeah, let's get right into this shit. So before I tell you guys how the story fell off, I'm gonna need to tell you guys a little bit of background. So when I initially got into Black Clover, it was a couple years after I got into high school, and also a couple years when I stopped watching anime in general. Yes, there's a point in my life where I was like, yo, fuck it. There's no more good anime after I watched Bleach and shit. So oh, there's no more good anime. Let me just stop watching. I guess this is the point in my life where I'm just like, fuck, like, there's nothing else good to watch. I'm done. But I still liked anime as a whole. I wasn't one of those cool kids that are like, oh yeah, I'm way too old for anime. It was just like, I had no anime to watch. Like, no one really put me on anything good. So I was like, fuck, like, you know what? Like, fuck it. Let me just stop watching altogether, which was kind of stupid, but yeah. Anyways, I was walking in the hallway one day, and one of my friends was talking about Black Clover. He was saying how good it was. He was saying it was tough. And, you know, listen, a guy like me who hasn't watched anime in a minute, I was like, man, fuck. Let me try this shit out. So I went home that same night and tried Black Clover out. And to a 15-year-old kid like me, 15-year-old, like, depressed teenager who really thought there was no hope in the world other than me becoming a fucking businessman, actually loved the show. Because the show, Asta, the main character especially, was a character who had most of the odds stacked against him. Yes, I know this is very hypocritical later on, because he literally gets the one ability that counters everything in the verse. But at that point in time, I just didn't give a fuck. And I was like, yo, Asta's inspirational as fuck. You know, like, he tries to show you that, okay, even if you're handicapped, even if the world seems like it's against you, you could still get the fuck back up and, you know, like, keep pushing forward and get to where you want to be in life. And you know what? That kind of motivated me for a bit. I was like, damn, like, you know what? Like, Asta's really that guy. So I started binging the show. Keep in mind, this is my first anime in a while. So I binged this shit fast as fuck. I remember I had a basketball game that day, and I literally stayed home, first of all, because I was sick. But I couldn't put the phone down from watching Black Clover. I was like, bro, this shit is too tough. Like, what the fuck? I was in the middle of the elf reincarnation arc just watching Black Clover. I was like, yo, this shit is peak fiction, bro. What the fuck? Anyways, so my problem with the series comes right about at this Julius point, like a lot of people may say. My first black stain on Black Clover would probably be the fact that Julius doesn't die here. Now listen, narratively and in the future that we are in right now, it doesn't make sense for Julius to die. Remember, back then, we knew nothing. Especially I knew nothing. I was like, bro, like, this guy's the Wizard King. I feel like it would have been a good conclusion for his character to just die saving everyone. Now listen, I was naive before and didn't know what the fuck I know now. But yeah, I was still like kind of cheesed, because Tabata really kind of pulled some sort of haha got you type shit on this, because he was able to take a strong ass character like Julius and take him out the story by making him into a kid. And I just thought that was cheap. Like, without killing him, he took him out the story. And I was just like, you know, like, the Wizard King is literally so OP to the point where no enemy can really be a threat unless this guy is just, like, handicapped or just gone out the story, like, unable to participate in the story. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we move on to the Spade Kingdom arc. And this arc was actually peak in the beginning. I messed with all the concepts we were getting to play here with the Devils. See, I was very interested in the Devils before I even got into Black Clover. I was like, bro, the Devils are something so fucking cool. I love the designs and shit. So when I found out there's gonna be an arc all about the Devils, I was like, yo, sign me the fuck up. And we finally see our characters getting killed. Like, half the whole Golden Dawn dies in this arc. You know what I'm saying? Lola Petrica gets captured. Fucking, it looks like Ghosh and Gray are about to die. So it's like, you know, like, the stakes are high in this arc. And I remember watching YouTube, and on this one YouTuber was telling me how, yo, like, in this arc, somebody has to die. Like, we're like about 200 something chapters in at this point, And not a single, like, really, really important character has died yet. So it's getting to that One Piece territory where it's like, fuck, like, we're so long into the story, and these motherfuckers have yet to end the story. I mean, not end the story, but yet to end one character, which is like, fuck. But yeah, we go through the arc, you know, Dante, we get all the introductions to the new villains and shit. I think they're all cool. Now listen, this part of the arc is fucking good. I like it. I like the stakes at play. I like the action. I like the concept of devils. This shit is peak. It's when the raid happens is what really kind of pisses me off. So for the entirety of this arc, we are warned about the revival of the Demon King, Lucifero. Sick ass concept. We're like, fuck, we cannot let the Demon King manifest in this world, or he won't be able to destroy the entire world. Now listen, when I heard this shit, I was like, yo, this shit's peak. Like, literally, if the Demon King does get resurrected, like, we're cooked. Like, if he can destroy the world, we're cooked. We have no person who can destroy the world in this series yet. But yeah, so they end up raiding, they end up saving Yami, defeating all their enemies, and here comes my second stain of blood on the series, and it's basically Noel. It happens with Noel's fight, where basically this one guy named Gaja was supposed to sacrifice his life, right, to end up giving Noel's team an opening so they can kill the villain, right? And which he does that. He does that. He literally sacrifices his life. They kill the villain. But somehow, with the miracle, he's able to be healed, even though he sacrifices his life on purpose. I feel like Tabata comes through like this, like, now listen, Black Clover fans, I'm not trying to bash your series. I'm just saying that, yo, Tabata makes a lot of, like, he makes a lot of risky situations for his characters, and it seems like he's like not too willing to carry out with those situations sometimes. It's so weird. Like, he's not willing to kill these characters. He just wants to put his foot in the water, but he doesn't want to dive all the way into it. You know what I mean? Which is really, like, kind of weird, because I'm like, bro, Gaja isn't really, like, that important of a character either. Like, maybe you might need him endgame. Maybe you might have some plans with him endgame, but I'm just like, bro, like, does he really have to survive? Like, first Julius, now this guy? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I let that slide too. I let that slide. Now, eventually, we end up defeating the Spade Army. The Dark Triad are down. Yuno's fight was great. So that kind of redeemed everything. Then Lucifero manifests at 50%. Now, when Lucifero gets manifested, it is one of the craziest scenes of that year. I don't give a fuck. I was on my TR phase that year too, so I was like, yo, like, TR is peak. Then Lucifero finally gets manifested. I'm like, yo, fuck, let me go check out Black Clover again, because this shit's getting fire. When Lucifero manifested, when I tell you, the community was so sure that Asta is not winning this fight, it's kind of like absurd. It's kind of like a PXG Bastard Munchen at the beginning, where everyone's like, yo, if Bastard Munchen win this match, it's plot armor. It was kind of like that. But I was like, bro, fucking Lucifero has to get a kill here. Nobody has died. The villain's kill counter in this arc is basically 0. They've killed a whole bunch of bottom feeders that no one really gave a fuck about, right? I barely remember the guys they killed's names, bro. Anyways, he manifests, he has a cold-ass entrance, he ends up fighting all the captains in Asta and no diffing them. At 50% of his power, by the way, he's not at 100%. And he ends up cooking the captains and Asta. Now, after single-handedly dismantling all of the magic captains, Asta, and basically almost everybody at the scene, Lucifero is looking unstoppable right now. And everyone thinks that a certain character is going to die this arc. His name is Yami, or Noct. These two characters have major death flags on them in this arc, and Yami's actually fighting with some devil heart inside of him. We don't know what the fuck, we don't even know what the fuck this shit's about yet, but like, it's just been there since this point. And we've been wondering about it for a long time, so I wonder what the hell's gonna happen with that. Anyways, this dude, Lucifero, is soloing everyone, right? Chapter after chapter, they just don't stand a chance. And keep in mind, he's only at 50%. Now listen, you might think, oh, why are you mad at this? I'm not mad at this. I'm very happy this is how it's turning out when he manifests. Because again, this is the Demon King. the king of all the devils that we've seen in the series so far. You seen that freaking guy we seen in the Elf reincarnation arc? Yeah, he's way stronger than him. At 50%, he'd probably solo his ass. Easily. And you know how much trouble we have with that guy? Real shit. So I should expect this guy to come in, even at 50%, and dominate everybody at this scene right now in his first appearance. You guys know when an anime character appears who's been hyped up for a long time, in his first appearance, they're meant to go crazy. They're meant to have an all-star MVP level performance. And Lucifer was putting that up. Until Asta got a fucking flashback in his head with Libe. You know what I'm saying? All the captains are down. Asta's in his head. Libe's crying, thinking about his mom. Asta figures out that Libe is his actual bro. And then they get a power-up. They sync for 100% for the first time in the whole show. Now listen, I'm not entirely mad at this, okay? Yes, it's a power-up in a crisis stage. Very shonen trope. But I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at this because how else are we even going to pose a threat to Lucifero? How else is he going to catch a body and the story's going to continue? Because after this point, it's almost like, bro, like, this is where the story ends. How are we going to beat this motherfucker? Right? So we need somebody to be able to get him out of here. Anyways, Asta ends up banging one-on-one with Lucifero after this. I'll let you breathe. He bangs out 1 versus 1 against Lucifero, the king of all devils. After a fucking power-up. Listen. Okay? I'm not that mad at this. It may sound like I'm furious, but I'm not that mad at this. He should at least be able to trade blows and, you know what I'm saying, like, come like a little relative to Lucifero's level. But what I'm about to tell you next is fucking insane. Asta ends up going 1v1 with Lucifero and ends up defeating him. Yup. Hold on. I'm going to say that one more time so you actually catch my drift. Asta ends up going 1v1 with Lucifero and ends up defeating him. Do you guys understand how fucking insane that is? Lucifero came in like LeBron James into the league. The chosen one. It's basically like LeBron James being hyped up as a high schooler, coming into the league and being the biggest bust of all time. Lucifero caught 0 bodies. Lucifero killed nobody. And Lucifero got soloed by Asta after getting a power-up. Mind you guys, he's only at 50%. The other 50% still alive. Don't worry. I'm going to talk about all this in a second. The major gripe I have with this Lucifero, this whole arc, is the lack of consequences we have. First, we had Gaja. Second, we had, I'm pretty sure Ghosh and Gray were supposed to die in the first fight against Dante, but they got healed as well. Then, like, there's Lucifero just coming in as the most hyped villain. He was coming in as the Madara of Black Clover. The motherfucker who would be the last ditch effort. This is the guy who killed Asta's mom. And this is also the guy, this is also the reason why Libe is even in the human world in the first place. He's a big deal. And we're going to kill him off in his first appearance. Like, bro, here I was thinking that he would pull up into the human world, wreak havoc at 50%. Asta, sure, he gets a power up, sure. Asta is able to at least, like, damage him a little bit to the point where, you know, he's weakened and he's like, okay, you know what? Like, I'll come back for you guys later. He still ends up defeating Asta and he catches a body, causes Asta to go through trauma, character development, time skip. We get back. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen here. But instead, Asta gets his power up. Absolutely solos the king of the devils. I don't care if he's at 50%. I could give less of a fuck. Absolutely solos the king of the devils. And then just, like, everyone's smiling. Like, everyone's fucking smiling at the screen like this is some sort of Disney show. And I'm just like, what the fuck? How do you fumble this hard? I've never seen anybody fumble this hard. All right? Like, this is literally an all-time great fumble. What the fuck? But what happens next sort of redeemed everything I thought about this arc. Throughout this whole arc, there's 3 Zogratis siblings, but in a flashback, we were revealed to us that there's a 4th Zogratis sibling with the devil contract of time. So immediately the first person that pops up is the Wizard King Julius. We're like, okay, he's the only guy in the whole series we know that uses time magic. Now, when it finally gets revealed that, yes, Julius is the time Zogratis sibling, the community exploded, rightfully so. There's a whole bunch of theories going around that, yeah, the reason why the clock was shown throughout the Lucifero fight and all throughout this arc was because Julius was basically reverting time over and over again to have people survive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, so it makes sense that Lucifero wasn't unable to kill anyone, and he keeps seeking like, oh, how are you not dead and shit. I understand. Listen, it's good writing at first when you look into it at surface level. But then as a writer's POV, one thing you never want to do as a writer is promise something to your audience and then let them down. I'm sorry. You promised to me that Lucifero was going to be one of the fucking strongest things we've seen in this entire verse. And then you're going to break that promise and tell me, oh, no, it's not him. It's actually this guy. The fuck? So this whole arc, I'm hyped for Lucifero to show up. I'm seeing all these devils, sure, like I'm hyped for that, but when Lucifero actually shows up, like the hype is the climax of this arc, he does nothing and dies. He literally drops a straight Tony Snell on this fucking shit. Like, it just it infuriates me. At the time, I got hyped because I was like, yo, like this reveal actually makes everything make sense. I'm glad Tabata was able to put it together well. But again, the lack of consequences is really killing this series at this point. Now, the next couple chapters, you know, there's been a little time skip again. Sister Lily gets turned into an angel. Some crazy shit happened. Lucius pulled up on Asta, basically kills his bitch ass, but he's not dead. And I'm just like, okay, well, yo, there's bear shit happening now. Like, Black Clover's actually picking back up. Until I get slapped in the face with almost a 20-chapter training arc in an entirely new land. Mind you guys, in this time skip, so after Lucifero died, I was still under the impression that, oh, it's all right, you know what I'm saying? There's still another king of hell left. His name is Beelzebub. I thought that, yeah, something in hell would actually be strong and not disappointing, but instead, I was let down again when Tabata tells me that Lucius basically went to hell and soloed every single devil inside there. Like, they were just puppies. He just went, slaughtered them all. He slaughtered Lucifero. He slaughtered all of them. I don't care if he's supposed to be stronger than these guys. The fact is that he just went in and killed the Demon King on a time skip and his first appearance. Yeah. Basically, yeah, he did that. Now listen. It's just, bro. This is just horrible. I don't think it's a great writing because they're going to make me wait. I think it was a 3-month time skip or 3-month like break IRL in the manga. So I'm waiting for this shit to come back. You give us a couple chapters when you come back, you know what I'm saying? It's hype and shit every single week. We're like, wow, this is fucking amazing. And then you give me a training arc for 20 weeks straight. Where at that point, I was just like, yo, I'm not reading no more. Like, he's literally learning a whole new power system at this point in the story. And it's like, yeah, okay, you know what? We do need a training arc because how else is he even going to stack up against Lucius? I understand. But this arc was long as fuck. Long as fuck. And yeah, that's basically the reason why I got fucking distracted from this series. But I recently reread it and I was like, you know what? Yeah, okay. Let's talk about it on YouTube. Because fucking why not? Now, after this and repeated breaks throughout the series, I slowly lost interest in what was happening in Black Clover. Mainly to the slow pace of the Lucius battle even happening, the training arc, and all this shit that we could have had compared to what we do have. Let me put into perspective what my ideal situation would it be for this. Let me think about how crazy it would have been if, yeah, Lucifero pulls up, he ends up killing someone. Let's say he kills Yami or like someone very important to Asta. You know what I'm saying? He kills one of the Black Bulls. He kills, actually not just one, but you know, he kills a very important character, right? And some other characters, some other captains and shit, they die as well in this battle. Then he ends up getting driven away by Asta. Asta then vows to become stronger so that no one will ever have, he'd never have to face that sort of guilt, like, thing again. And then we cut back to the kingdom, and Lucius actually gets revealed as the fourth Zogratis. Both of these things happen at the same time. And I feel like since we know, yeah, the Zogratis siblings are the ones that end up killing Yuno's parents and shit, there's a grudge between the Lucius and Yuno. You know what I'm saying? There's a grudge between these two. And then also we also have the grudge between Asta and Lucifero, where his mother was literally fucking killed by Lucifero, and he needs to get back. And now his master or someone was killed by Lucifero too. So I'm just like, okay, you know what? Then that would be crazy, because it's like a two-way, like both these guys had to defeat their arch nemesis in the final arc, when instead he just killed one of them right away, and the other one just like doing his whole shit, all OP and shit, moving like he's Aizen, all this other shit. So yeah, compared to what we could have had, I feel like my situation is way better. I feel like my situation that I've described to you way better. It makes the story way more complex, and it makes the story branch out to new, like, just new, like, ways. Like, right now, it feels like the story is so, like, just straight. We're gonna go defeat Lucius's angels, then we're gonna defeat Lucius. That's what it's like. And it's just like, I don't fucking like that. Now, imagine if Asta had to go into hell, like he's Guts or some shit. Because apparently Black Clover's inspired by Berserk somehow. Actually, no, I know how, the big sword. But yeah, Black Clover's inspired by Berserk. But, like, imagine Asta going into Guts, going into his Guts arc, like, willing to kill all the devils like Libe, and literally, like, being filled with hatred for once. Yeah, that shit will be fucking peak, honestly, in my opinion. But yeah, like, now we're gonna talk about some more conventional topics. So it's about November, December time, where we finally get to reveal to us that Black Clover is gonna be out of Weekly Shonen Jump for a while, which is a pretty bad mood, in my opinion. Tabata's health is above everything, so I'm glad he's taking care of his health so he can be there along with his family and shit. But as a reader, it's just so annoying when you know one chapter is going to come out every 4 fucking months, and the one chapter he drops is not a chapter that's like, fuck, like, yes, I'm so hyped for this shit. This is the shit I want to see. Like, come on, really? Really, bro? Like, actually? This is what you give me after 4 months of waiting? And it's like every chapter he's going to drop from now on that isn't like a banger in 4 months, I'm just going to be disappointed. And I feel like other readers are going to be too. And more people are going to start dropping the series. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this reader schedule bullshit. And this is another topic similar to the downfall, but I want to talk about the sales real quick. Black Clover has never sold good. Like, the manga has around 18 million copies sold, which is pretty criminal for how popular it is in the West. I guess people in Japan just don't fuck with a Naruto 2.0. I don't know. Okay, I'm just kidding, Black Clover fans. Don't kill me. Anyways, but bro, like, the manga just never sold well, so I feel like if we call it a downfall, it's not really a downfall because this shit was always never selling well. But it's like, the popularity, I'd say, has plummeted a lot. And so has just like the overall community around the show, the overall reception around the show has just plummeted a lot, which is what I mean by downfall. Like, the story of the show has also plummeted, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This was an exhausting video. Like and subscribe. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Remember, turn on post notifications so you know every time I post. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.